Hey guys, how the hell are ya? Welcome back once again to a new episode of Arnold Drinks. My name is Arnold, and tonight I drink. So once again, keeping in the spirit of that time of year, it is Oktoberfest, and we are having a lot of fest beers on this channel, not the least of which is one of the local favorites here. This is Zilker Brewing Company, which is another awesome Texas-based brewing company. I've had many awesome beers from Zilker, and this is no exception. This is Wunderbier. It is a German Oktoberfest style beer. It is 5.4% alcohol by volume, so a little bit more in that crushable range, a little bit above that typical session ale range, but that's okay, because what matters is how does the thing taste? How flavorful is it? So let's just go right in. Oh man. So that's interesting. It has a very interesting aroma to it. It's a little floral, a little funky. And yet still very crisp. So it's got kind of a crisp, floral, funky kind of note to it. Not unlike lemongrass, not unlike something a little bit sour, dare I say? That's interesting. Yeah, I'm getting more grassy notes the more I sniff it. That's kind of interesting, considering this is meant to be sort of a fest beer. I would think it would have more sweetened notes, a little bit more of a malty character, but I am definitely not getting that on the aroma. So, with that, let's take a sip. Let's see what the palate says about it. Let's see how the flavor goes. So that's interesting and a lot better in terms of the flavor than versus the aromas. So whereas the aroma had a bit of a funky character going on to it, I feel like with the palate, it's there, but it's way more subdued. You can definitely tell it's there though. There's like this funky floral thing going on, a little bit of hoppiness in there, kind of crisp, kind of light, and yet there's this maltiness that's just trying to creep out, trying to poke its head out there. You're still getting a bit of that lemongrass kind of thing. It's a little bit closer to a Pilsner to me than a typical fest beer, than a typical Marzen style beer. So with that, I don't know, like it's just interesting. It's different. It's cool in that it's different. But that's... Let me go back in again. Interestingly, it's like there's this subtle, like, if you've ever had like a blood orange beer, you know how you sometimes get like an IPA or something that has a little bit of a blood orange character to it, like it'll say blood orange IPA, blood orange hazy, something like that. Usually it says it loud and proud because that is a big, bold flavor that associates very, very well with a hazy IPA. And I'm kind of getting a little bit of that subtle note in there too. Not so subtle in a hazy IPA, but I'm getting a little bit of a subtle kiss of that blood orange note in this one. That is interesting. Let me go again. Yeah, it's almost like there's an ever so slightly citrus zest kind of thing that's happening there. And in a way that it's a little bit more crisper, a little bit more cleaner, and that is kind of accentuating that flavor. There's not really a lot of that sort of corny, yeasty sweetness that you typically associate with the style. And for that reason, it's very different. For all I know, maybe even a little bit more traditional than I'm aware of. Maybe I've just been spoiled by all these big malty bombs of fest beers, and maybe this is a little bit closer to tradition. Who knows? I might have to pop open something a little bit more traditional out of the beer fridge here shortly to kind of compare it to. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Tons more of this content to come. And as always, remember, take what you do seriously. Do not take yourselves too seriously.